Trying to hit the start streaming button and it won't work. I don't need time to second guess myself. And yeah, sure, bot's working. Yeah. I need to keep it up early. Nice, another background out. And y'all, Lonase. What is this? Huh? Is this event currency? For free? But why? I mean, I'm not gonna complain about free currency. Okay. Fallen event. So this Walpurgis isn't even... This isn't even gonna be a proper Walpurgis, it's just Fallen. Bruh. I can't believe this. Okay. There is going to not be Walpurgis. I thought there was gonna be a Walpurgis event to do, but about that. I don't need to do that anymore. Guess we're just doing a fraction railway. Yep. Stream might be shorter than I expected. I might just toss in a floor 15 for the hell of it. Okay, what am I getting myself into? Weak to Wrath, Lust, Pride. Ads in a minute. Huzzah. Okay. How do I... What team do I want to use? I mean, I could probably use this team again, since the game permits me. Why did I reset my team then? Oh god, I have to remember everything.
Ruin break is starting.
Ads. Always ads. It's always ads. I should probably deploy this Heathcliff sooner, or use a different one. I can use middle. Oh yeah, I can do that. I can use both middle. Yeah, like that. Wait, that's actually might work out better than I expected. Because the more middle units that die, the stronger my Ryoshu. So I don't really lose any power later. And I'm not gonna be planning on executing them. Because, yeah, why would I? Let's see. He has Envy. Envy. Let's see. Do I have enough Envy? 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I don't. I would have to run like 2 middle IDs extra. Shoot. Does he really need more blade lineage? Hmm. Yeah, I think I can run. Oh, yeah, I can run more House of Spiders then. Although that Ishmael is good. Hmm. 3, 4. Oh, who am I kidding? I won't even have enough. Welcome back to the ad. It just seems that I took so long in trying to decide what my team will be. So here's what I can do. I can run these two late. So all my House of Spiders units come in late, like early, not late. And when they inevitably die, my backup arrives. Seems good.
당신이 이 숲의 괴수로군.
I should probably update the stream title. There is gonna be no Walpurgis. Well, I mean, there will be Walpurgis balls, so technically I'm not wrong. Okay, what do I do here? I see. Huh. This is crossed out right now. Oh, that's because I severed that, is it? Yeah, I severed that too. Cool. So I'm just gonna experiment real quick, I guess. Start by winning some clashes. Where is the prescript targeting? Okay, you both want to target that, I guess, so... You're being my, test dummies. Unopposed. Burn count and bleed count. Yeesh.
장단이 떠올랐어요.
이 순간이 닿아도 베어내리라.
사냥꾼, 무술이 해체해줄게.
그쯤 해줬으니 포장지 한번 벗겨야겠군.
Flores Eagle and Don Quixote. Risk wants us to target the past now, I guess. Don't know why. And this doesn't have too many in the future anymore. Oh, it's deactivated. That's also deactivated. I see. That's a mass attack. It's doing a ton of damage too. And Otis. We have good Pride Res in here, so we can do that. Actually, yeah, this will be fine. Then we can do this, just for some extra. You're targeting Don. You're targeting Don with both. Nice. Not nice.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지.
이 불 또한 예술의 황홀경이지. 지겹군. 이 몸이 직접 손봐야겠는데.
너무 뻔하잖아.
흐릿한 등화, 곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의 하늘, 용태여, 빈 벼로에 남았구나.
셋째.
It loses 1 per hit, I see.
미래를 과거와 같이.
Okay. It's in the present now. It's becoming poise. And the prescript still demands me to target that. Don Quixote, I would like you to target that. Actually, do not target that. Just... What a tough choice. Seems good.
거긴 킬존이다.
Yeah.
한눈 털었으면 되져야지.
장부를 펼칠 것도 없겠군.
아득한 여정, 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
거기서 지켜보시죠. 다섯.
이것도 받아보시게나.
The final stop. The wayfarer is hinged in the glow of the sunset approaches us. It would seem there is no need to say much. Make yourself comfortable and rest a while, and of course, feel free to leave now if you're in a hurry. All the butterflies leaving the sight while our fighting instincts were still sharp. Offense level up for every ally defeated. That is good. On a resin, skills that are part of the resin chain deal more damage. Also nice. And you are... in the future right now. I see. So whichever one is... the most it gets. Why does the prescript really want this one? What is going on with that? Screw the paralyzed, man. And Otis, why are you getting like no SP? What is happening here?
영감이 떠올랐어. 아름다운 춤을 추는 건 나뿐이어야 해. 그럼 네 발목을 잘라버리면
흐릿한 등화, 곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의 하늘, 용이 되어 빈 벼로에 남았구나.
You have so much burn, actually.
대응 완료.
흩뿌려져 추악한 모든 시선을 이끌리지.
파우스트, 신체파의 예술을 보여줄 시간이란다.
보여드려야겠군요. 왜냐면
Honestly, not too bad damage. Deactivated that again. It's in the present again. Huh. There is no power down, no. Unfortunately, this time. Gain 2 poise count. Hmm. No, the brace script is targeting the boss now. Nice. That is truly unfortunate.
거긴 킬존이다.
아득한 여정. 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
Yeah, he's dead. Almost-ish.
이었었지.
If the boss gets staggered here, when he's staggered, that'd be a problem. Because we didn't even get to use his enhanced skill yet.
이 파도 속에서 움직일 수 있는 오직
관람객분들께
깨어져라.
더
Nah,
이상
wait, he unstaggers, that's right.
주지
You are doing burn, and that is very high rolling. Isn't that burn count? Yeah, that's burn count.
자신 있으면 받아봐.
그 소재 가져갈래요.
이 순간이 닿아도록 베어내리라. 낮도 밤도 지고 숨이 닿아도록 베어낼 것. 훤히 다 보여. 하! 내 차례네?
태우고 싶은 곳을 태울 뿐이요.
Oh, it's staggered. Nice.
얼마나 썼다고 벌써.
And we even got disposal on this turn. Even better. Oh, and we have this. This is going great. You're not doing the best damage there, Otis. So, magic bullet, I guess. Nah, actually. You're doing so little damage. Only 131, but I could get Furiosa. That is so unfortunate. If I got Furiosa this turn, that'd be amazing, but it's a little late. I mean, game wants you to target that, so go ahead. And Dawn needs the remaining prescript. Yeah.
영감이 떠올랐어요. 그 소재 가져갈래요.
그걸 앞으로 하나.
지긋지긋해. 요시 그 새끼도 너도 전부 다.
Unbelievable with how much was rolled tails.
회장 시간. 그럼 안녕히.
항상 저희 영감을 일깨워 주시는군요.
예술적이네요.
We appear to be in which one is this? Still this? No. We're in the future. Okay. Everlasting. Because, yeah.
영감이 떠올랐어요.
Get some tremor on the bus.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태엽 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
Yeah, we got Furiosa.
대행 완료.
이 순간이 다도 되어내리라. 낮도 밤도 지나 손이 다도 베어내.
이제 한 쌍의 상황골과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티디아의 멜로디가
숨막히도록 견뎌왔고 절박하게 갈망했으며 헤아릴 수 없이 저주했으니
주세. 해금하겠네.
We are now wait, this one has 0? Or is it just so far to the right that I can't see? Okay, it's deactivated. And it only has 5. This one's the activated one, I am pretty sure. Yep. What a ton of damage. I mean, I could everlasting the boss again, using up even more sloth resources. I mean, Valentine Road now should be able to unstagger, right? $25 the rail ship. It's still favored. Alright, man, I guess it's dominating, but it's still... It will still lose. Oh, God.
기다려 주시게. 마법의 삐삐님이
4
전해주는
times
지령의
that.
해석이 조금
That wouldn't be too good. And the worst that happens here is Rio should just redirects it to someone. Oh yeah. What am I worrying about? I can do that.
자신 있으면 받아봐.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 폐업 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
Got good amounts of tremor on it. Yay.
그저 하염없이 모든 피를 머금고 그렇게 후물이 피어나고 피어나라.
여기서 잠깐 쉬어. 쳐다만 봐도 따스해질 테니까.
격정의 마음을 모방하겠어. 제한 종료.
몰아치는 것을 저주는 원망.
딸아이가 이 상처를 기억할지.
Staggered.
파우스트? 신체파에 의해서
You are indeed
보여줄
first,
시간이야.
awesome knight. Hello and welcome.
외면의 예술.
한눈 팔았으면 되져야지.
거기서 지켜보시죠.
재밌군.
Okay. Might the wicked. Will be dangerous. Gain 2 damage down and 1 paralyze. At minimum 208. Ooh. Why is everyone losing SP?
불길한 소리. 예감이 좋지
Don't
않다.
understand. Also, why are you staggered? Shouldn't be staggered. Could use Sanguine Desire on that. It has 2 power downs, so yeah, there's a good chance that it could actually go pretty well.
그려낸 대로.
Well, I should say 4 power down.
순간이 다 되었네.
See, nothing to worry about. And we're even keeping the bleed count.
그런 네 발목을 잘라버리면
nothing to worry about.
역시 니놈 말대로 어떤 사람이라도 맞출 수 있는 마법의 탄환이.
내가 이딴 곳에서 처투해줄 사람 같아?
And we are now in the future. Is this burn? I don't remember. Bleed. It's bleed.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지. 여섯째.
사냥 끝. 모조리
Nice.
해체해줄게.
Also
왜?
nice.
못 맞추겠어?
I've been really annoyed if Everlasting lost.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태엽 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
이제 한 사람의 상황을 24개의 늑골이
Staggered it.
티비아의
Nice.
멜로디가
장부를 펼칠 것도 없겠군.
Another Everlasting. Because why not? I kinda want to do this before he actually does die.
자신 있으면 받아봐.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태엽 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
이제 갖고 놀기.
틀렸다.
일곱. 앞으로 둘. 이 몸을 온당히 벌하심에 기꺼이 죄를 받아들이나이다.
Negative 24 SB. And future is still activated, so you just target that.
예측할 수 없게.
글쓰지 가져갈래요.
순간이 다 되었느리라.
Cool. Yeah, people are dying now.
거기서 지켜보시죠.
본인은 최선을 다했다고 말해주시게.
오랜만에 숨 좀 차는군.
Beginning to think Ryoshu is doing something to their SP. He might not be good to do there. Okay. So, in the future, just do that. Yep. And since you're targeting the boss with that, you're gonna set its tremor to that, which is nice. Because Crushbound will make use of that later. Since you're negative on SP, you can actually win this fairly easily. Probably. If you don't, then you die anyways, but whatever.
감상은 어떤가요? 슬픔에 흔들린 마음 이렇게 터져버리죠.
갖고 놀기.
That's a lot of bleed.
손은 크게 뜨고 잘 봐라.
총원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
Ah, wait, that's raising Sinclair's SP.
내 검은 가져갈 수 없을 거다.
덧없는 삶. 예정된 죽음이라지만 상념으로 맑은 하늘 가리고 별을 잊지 못한 이 속을 맞춰 땅.
Wait, was he technically acting as infinite health for Ryoshu?
당신이었군요. 저를 묻어주.
이 자리에 있는 것들 전부 즉결 처형이다.
Wrath, Pride, and Lust. Yeah. How close is the sacrifice threshold? 3,143. Not close enough. The bleed. The bleed's a problem.
낮도 밤도 지워 숨이 타도록 베어낼 것.
그래요. 그렇게 가만히 있으면
Staggered it. Nice. That's really good.
이쪽으로 와. 내가
Oh,
안전을
and I get the big skill. Let's get rid of my Ryoshu. Don't want her dying to bleed. He might die. I think his cheap death was propped. That is unfortunate. And we do not have access to inertia. We have good amounts of tremor though.
그려낸다. 사냥 끝. 예측. 글쎄 아이고. 그럼 아니면 몰아치는 것을. 저자는 원망.
Nice. Honestly, not too bad. It's pretty good, I think. Boxes. I could use these boxes. Two tickets. Nice. Not enough for this, unfortunately. Okay. Well. I was tempted into doing at least 4 polls, so 2 multis. May as well, right? Hey, Salvador.
쌍화차인가? 오늘따라 차의 맛과 향이 진해서 좋구만. 이번에도 노른자는
Oh,
검정색 바늘.
and Miss Faust that I
인정한
unfortunately can't remember the name of.
역시 파우스트의 상대로 이번 사건의 배우는 그자였던 것 같군요.
And since I have one more multi, just do that. Wow.
초종 부고를 전하겠소. 이 처참한 보호와 호접이 그대를 화장할지니.
Amazing.
그 후로 아무것도 남지 않으리.
Is that the stream? I think that's the stream. Okay. Oh, and I have 3 Deca. Nice, nice. And I can do this. I didn't get the show cliff. It's kind of the only one I'm missing. And I need to get the Ryoshu and the Merceau closer to Merceau, so I'll just do this. Well, that happened. Sinking tremor. Ego. You made it in time at least to get your streak? Yeah. I think I'm gonna end because there's gonna be another stream later today. I think there's supposed to be a collab. So this isn't the real stream for today. You got the bonus points, Awesome Knight. Don't tell anyone. Wait. Faust. There's Faust. Yeah. First, let me use a level boost ticket on Faust. Boom. Done. Next, let me level him to 60. Now I can uptie him.
그럼 그렇게나 많은 죽음을 머금고 편하게 마무리 지을 수 있을 거라고 생각했나?
I can milk the timer a little bit, I
이번엔
guess.
정말 각오하는 게
By simply reading. With every breath I took, the acrid air around me burned my throat. Cries of pain, sorrow, and fear rang out from every direction, and other indescribable horrors overwhelmed my senses as the thick blanket of smoke squeezed the oxygen out of the air. The smoke permeated everything, even in fields of battle packed full with the spray of blood and scattering shrapnel. Clashing blades and bullets whizzing past comrades and enemies both, the miasma found on the cracks to suffuse. We used to call it the stench, or its stench, the scent of humans. Oh, here comes my daily fix. Ah, let me set it on your table, master. It's hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Listen, kid. There's really no need to baby me like that. Years have passed since that smoke left its final mark on my memory. And now I'm leading a small fixer office where I nurture and train pupils of my own. I wonder what my younger self would think if he saw me as I am now. Could he ever have imagined this kind of life? The kind of prosaic, peaceful life where I get to sit in a cool air-conditioned room and sip on a pleasantly warm cup of sangwa cha my pupil brewed. He has a point, Sinclair. Perhaps it would be best for your career prospects if you redirected the focus of your endeavors onto tasks that more befit the responsibilities of a fixer rather than that of a tea brewer. Brewing sangcha can't possibly be so important a task that you'd spend the time every morning to carefully analyze your superior's mood and choose which toppings would suit his palate. Well, still, I think I'm pretty good at it, so... Could you have imagined the kind of sedate life where I get to enjoy a hearty chuckle every now and then, watching the shenanigans unfold as my pupils passive-aggressively throw jabs at one another about what are, ultimately, frivolities? No, how could he? After all, how could he lose himself daydreaming when even a split second of distraction would mean certain death? Oh yeah, you just got back from the contract, didn't you? The Urban Legend class request. Yes, I have completed the request regarding the 1,000 needles. Wow, you're impressive. Solving an Urban Legend class request all on your own? The target posed an increasingly substantial threat as it mounted a more aggressive resistance toward the end, but... I had a question regarding the contract, Herr Gregor. Ah, for me? What is it? As the name 1,000 Needles would suggest, I was presented with ample opportunities to collect and examine some black needles at the scene. Bearing those symbols, I presume? Correct. Symbols of yellow glow, to be precise. Its patterns were analyzed next to symbols used by various workshops that marked their output, but no exact match was identified. Imitating Stigma's product branding. Branding's all the rage these days. There's been an uptick in workshops making their products, leaving their symbols in the aftermath of a battle. Got me worried for a sec. Maybe they'd become so money-grubbing that they started sponsoring all kinds of maniacs out there. But with this, that's one load off my mind. Though, it isn't as bad as it used to be. The city is losing the warmth it had by the hour. The proverbial winter is starting to set in. Its denizens lately. Ads are in 50 seconds. I like to think I've seen my fair share of the worst the city had to offer. But day after day, the increasingly bizarre and out there incidents find their way to shake and shock me anew. If there was any warmth at all, its temperature was rapidly dropping to what could be described as nothing but frigid. Still, the optimist in me says it's not all bad, that we, as a collective, haven't quite reached the line we must cross, and I find solace in that. Then again, you never know. Maybe there are folks out there, people who are already too far gone and have crossed that line, and then some, but as long as they didn't make it my business by invading this cozy little space I've got with my students, I don't think I want to concern myself with those things too much. Sponsorships? I didn't know workshops did that. You did not?
True, and that break is starting.
Herr Gregor is the proverbial poster child of workshop-sponsored fixers. What? Can't blame Sinclair for not knowing. It's not like I have a habit of harping on about old times. I posit the argument that any sentence that begins with "back in my day" that you are so fond of counts toward the conventional definition of harping on about old times. In that case, could you tell us a little bit about your past? I know you're a very prestigious fixer, Master, but I never had the opportunity to hear about what exactly you've done to earn that reputation. Yeah, maybe the stories of those days are better shared in a lighthearted conversation. Just something to be mentioned in passing. Enough time has passed now anyway. I've been using Stigma Workshop weapons throughout my career, from the day I first started working in this business. Now, if you ask whether they were the best workshop weapons among all the ones I've browsed, trying to find a weapon that'll keep me company through thick and thin, no, they weren't exactly all that. Then why did you decide to go with a Stigma Workshop weapon, Master? Well, I could say that there was the matter of my thin, hungry wallet. But more importantly, big-name workshops out there don't let anybody walk right in, just because they come knocking on their doors. Gotta keep your clientele more distinguished, if you know what I mean. In other words, more well-known workshops weren't all that eager to take a commission from some no-name grade 9 fixer, even if he had the coin for it, which he didn't. Fortunately for me, Stigma Workshop was a relatively unknown back in the day, with a more niche audience, which meant that they had no qualms letting a greenhorn like me purchase a decently high-quality weapon. Anyway, while the partnership was coincidental, it ended up being a win-win. I kept racking up successful contracts, and Stigma Workshop reaped the subsequent renown and a new swath of customers. And as a token of gratitude, they were generous enough to offer personalized upgrades to my weapon. So that's why all our weapons are... You catch on quick, kid. It's all thanks to my connections that Stigma Workshops allowed a young chickling like yourself to wield one of their quality weapons. It seems that our office rep rarely tires of self-aggrandizing behavior, though one cannot deny the veracity of that claim. Anywho, they really saved my bacon more than a few times at the Smoke War. The Smoke War. It's the same with any war, I'm sure, but for boots on the ground foot soldiers, survival was the only thing that mattered. The most surefire way to guarantee survival would have been to stay as far away as I could from the war. But that wasn't an option for Nestborn fixers like myself. Some battlefields were so dire that even association fixers had to struggle through fight after fight, with broken, malfunctioning weapons and worn-down outfits. But because I was sponsored by Stigma Workshop, every time my sword needed maintenance, they provided it free of charge, and even threw in a series of upgrades. Back then, too. I was a part of a detachment, perhaps a rather too grand a name for what really was a hastily assembled group of fixers with even the remotest preparations against the damage of fire and heat in the war. We were a bunch of ragtag soldiers at best, but I won't deny that there was an air of unwarranted confidence among us, given that all we needed to do was burn up a pair of wings. But that day, on the hill, we had fallen back here, pushed the line. Infestation zone cleared. Regrouped and rendezvous with the section director and calling all recruited office fixers. We can do this together. Our right flame wall needs reinforcement. A monstrosity of evasive abilities bordering on precognition and offensive capabilities that, with a single hit, could all but guarantee instant death. That was one of the decisive weapons of G-Corp, and Leo Association was selected specifically to handle it. I was probably stronger than each individual Leo fixer, but one set of wings reduced to ashes, just one more push, and don't let your guard down, team. Stay alert. Huh. Looks like we might actually have a chance. There's really no point in measuring individual merit when it comes to Leo fixers. The moment an all-out battle began, they came together in combined fluidity, not unlike that of a single organism, a dragon, charging through the enemy forces under the section director's command. And it wasn't long before their flames dominated the entire battlefield. For a moment, the situation seemed so favorable that I began to hope we might defeat this foe without needing reinforcements. And with how things looked, this enemy was definitely on its back foot. We would be able to seize victory with just a little more effort. Enemy altitude's down, but velocity remains constant. Its erratic movements haven't slowed at all either, Director. Goddamn bug. Its airborne vertical maneuverability won't be diminished much, even if we somehow manage to burn all its wings. I see. The point of this operation was to prevent high-speed airborne escape. But whatever possible scenario we could come up with based on common sense did not apply to a decisive weapon of a wing. This is the famous Flame of Leo? Slower than I imagined. The raging, seemingly impenetrable wall of fire flickered as it danced inadvertently, revealing the most minuscule of openings, and the monster's eyes caught sight of two Leo fixers. In the blink of an eye, they were gone. Before most of the fixers could even comprehend what had happened, I ran desperately to block the beginnings of a growing rupture in the formation. He's right above you. Swing up. Huh? You swung, but with a curious delay. Was he your favorite? You fuck. Director, don't let that monster get to you. Calm yourself and... Ah! Everyone's dying now. Once a crack begins to split open, it only grows into a rift. Without moving as one in organic fluid motion, the flames will scatter into mere cinders, no longer merge as a flame dragon. The monster turned the tide, taking cover behind the fire and heat haze that obscured not only its vision, but ours too. Fixers of mediocre abilities scattered across the battlefield, served only as hostages or meat shields for that monstrosity. Before we could even complete our initial goal of burning its wings, G-Corp bastards, just what the hell have you created? Director. The Lord of Flies descended upon the dragon's head and crushed it to a pulp. Our forces were minutes away from complete annihilation. I had to do something, so I ran up to the front of the line and rallied the troops. Regroup here to me. You know who I am. We even had a quick meet and greet, remember? All of you are now under my command. Focus entirely on providing me support, and I swear I'll burn that fucking vermin's remaining wings to ash. You're not our section director. We work with him best. I doubt you can fill his boots. Maybe. But you, me, we're not exactly flush with options, are we? No, I guess not. Fine, we'll march with you. Lead us. The world was on fire, and we were trapped in a flaming cage. The sky above was nothing but pitch-black darkness, smoke from fires and smoke that smelled of humans mingled, creating a horrible crimson eye of a noxious storm I could hardly describe in any fitting words. But I was a leader on the hill now, and so I imitated the dragon's head to the best of my abilities. I may not have been the guy to fill the section director's boots, but I was only flying by the seat of my pants. But by having a small army of fixers following the flow and releasing bursts of flame at just the right moments, my firepower grew twice as powerful. I alone blazed in the glow of the falling sun amidst the burning field of the infestation zone. With a lieu of fixers behind me, I felt like I could measure up pretty well against even the legendary Vermilion Cross himself. But the bodies kept piling and piling. Past a certain level, simple numerics, like how many augmentations you have or what grade your gear is, don't decide the outcome. This is where the other previously neglected factors come into play. Their training routine, the kind of efforts they put into them. The matchups between fighters, the battlefield, and the circumstances that might or might not give you an edge. We lasted pretty long for a sunset, didn't we? We kept on fighting even in this pitch-black night. Eventually, I was the only one standing against that monstrosity of a foe. Lord of Flies did not appear even remotely winded, as though he were drawing from an infinite pool of energy. The situation seemed rather hopeless, but I was young at the time. I still had that youthful streak of rebelliousness burning somewhere within me. Then, because I wasn't ready to sit down and let death take me. So I gathered whatever strength I had left in me, all the muscle memory, all the training I've done up to that moment, and held it all in my hand. Hey, fly, bud. I don't know if you've been keeping track of the time, but the sun will be peeking over the horizon soon. Just look at how the faintest blue is starting to encroach into the black night, heralding the crack of dawn. The heated blade draws a beautiful pattern as it cleaves through space before me under the distant sky. The reach of my blade is too short to strike the monster. It evades to the side of these and regurgitates a stream of corrosive fluid. And it lands right on my sword arm, melting it, eating through flesh and bone. You know what they say. That's its darkest before dawn. But it's pretty bright out here now, isn't it? I can feel its fluid spreading, eating away at my torso from shoulder to hip. But at the same time, so does the space my purest resolve and sword has rent through, its sundered fabric melting away as though by flames. Thank you for the follow, White Tiger. And the fly's wings that were touching the very tip of my blade's arc fall apart, its sliced segments melting away. Now that, I didn't see coming. But what will you do now? It seems you are now out of options. I didn't quite imagine it happening like this, but at least they made it in time for the sunrise. Say hello to my reinforcement and your death. Weakling. Though the battle was fierce, all we managed to do at the end of the day was cut off its means of escape. And the reinforcement command decided to send out was but a single combatant. A single combatant to face this insurmountable foe who was still armed with unpredictable movements and a seemingly bottomless well of stamina. I'd be lying if I said the realization didn't hit me with a wave of disappointment and a profound sense of futility. Hey, don't you know who I am? But nobody who's fought even a single skirmish in this battlefront wouldn't recognize the woman who just marched up to the battlefield with a cigar smoke billowing in the wind. She's the same person who survived the brutal gauntlet of duel after duel that mercilessly cut down a number of promising futures. Namely, that of the Grade 1 Fixer, who was a popular candidate for the title of Color Fixer, the rising right hand of a soda capo, and others whose prospects were just as golden, and emerged victorious one battle after another monster of another nature. Of course I do. I've seen the way you fight. After leaving everything in our hands, I returned to our encampment in the back lines and had my injuries treated. And surrounded by the roaring cheer of the spectators, I got to watch a recording of our battle against the Lord of Flies. The footage slowed down by several dozen times, the only way the video could have captured the way the two combatants sped and zoomed around each other. In that footage, it seemed as though the reinforcement managed to behead the Lord of Flies, killing it instantly, before it even realized it was dying. As it turned out, if you kill the Lord of Flies before it even registers its own death, it won't have the chance to spawn the maggot prince. Huh. It was a shame that so much of the work we did to prepare to counter the maggot prince went to waste, but thanks to the Sigma Workshop symbol seared on the back of the Lord of Flies, and with the witnessed reports from Leo Fixers who managed to survive the massacre, they recognized me as a major contributor to the success of that operation. Ragger. Ah, sorry, must have gotten lost reminiscing. Anyways, apparently burning the monster's wings ended up being one hell of a promotion for Sigma Workshop. Fellas better learn to appreciate me, because I'm the only reason they're still offering weapon sponsorships to our office, even in my semi-retirement. Not to mention how the connections I made then got us to the position of the Leo Association's affiliate office. Well, you really are amazing, Master. Amazing? Come on, I'm just a washed-up fixer with a broken body that never fully healed. Damages caused by the Lord of Flies' extremely corrosive fluid would have been difficult to recover from, even with a K-Corp ampule of a fairly high purity. It is likely that his nerves failed to fully regenerate. Yeah, guess so. Still, it's all thanks to that one ampule I got for outstanding valor that I'm still alive and kicking after all this time. Remember, those ampules were even rarer back in my day. Wow. Huh. Kinda weird that the lady who slayed the decisive weapon isn't in the news at all nowadays, though. Haven't heard much about her myself in a long while. She sure didn't seem the type to get herself killed unceremoniously, too. Well, she's probably enjoying herself in a comfy seat lording over peons like us. Anyway, how's that for harping on about old times? Had enough yet? I throw a lighthearted jab as I pick up a piece of paper that's been on my desk for a while today, related to our next contract. Is that the object that's had the fixer industry a buzz lately? You got that right. This is what our next contract will be about. They said my Zvi alum's death is connected to this contract too. No, I'm sorry for your loss, Master. I can't imagine what you're going through. My heart's unscathed, kid. I was never fond of that fella. The question is, have you heard anything about this object, Sinclair? Something they call the Library's Invitation. I see. Does Faust's story begin after Gregor's? And then we uptie this one.
말을 길게 끌 것 없겠군요. 그레고르 싱클레어, 바로 시작하죠.
It has been determined that this case merits preservation as a record. The following is the case record pertaining to today's request. Case name, Thousand Needles. Serial code, DN 00113, grade Urban Legend. The case has now developed to a point where assigning codes beginning with A to the victims no longer serves any practical purpose. Catastrophic propagation via a series of random chain reactions would be an appropriate description for the nature of this case. As such, it would be both inefficient and impossible to assign individual serial codes to every victim scattered throughout this street. The circumstances surrounding the case align with both the information gathered from rumors in the case report compiled by Representative Gregor of the Dawn office. Now, briefly recording the state of the case scene. Sections of the building have been liquefied, and beneath the damaged structures, traces in the form of human remains can be observed. Many of the victims' remains are no more than distal extremities of the human body. By contrast, it is rare to find torsos and internal organs that maintain even a moderate resemblance to their original forms. Given this fact, it is reasonable to infer that the prevailing cause of death in this case is something of an explosive nature. Remaining bits and pieces of human flesh also indicate that the said explosion was accompanied by countless shrapnel tearing the bodies inside out. Faust determines that all of these observations indeed point to a single property, omnidirectional fragmentation of this pitch-black matter from within the body. A presentation identical to that of prior cases. The matter is abnormally dense compared to its mass. Its material strength is also unnaturally high. Merely touching the surface of the wall permits the matter to drill through it with negligible resistance. Immediately after making contact, the matter begins to melt, an area several times larger than the point of contact. It is difficult to believe that such a material could have been produced by the human body. It is certain that this matter is identical to the one currently under Faust's investigation, as an object of interest, designated as needles. Yes, that is correct. Symbols of an irregular, atypical pattern which Faust had repeatedly received on-site verification requests for, are present on the material. Now cross-referencing this observation against Faust's information. No matching information found. In that case, the minority hypothesis, which alleges that the symbol points to a malicious advertisement attempt by a certain upstart workshop, may be dismissed as false. Now moving on to the next proposed hypothesis. Yesterday's promise and demonic magic. Has the presently recorded cases seen yielded any verifiable facts that substantiates the said hypothesis? Understood. Faust recalls having stored a piece of information regarding the body of a corporate employee found on the back streets, a victim of the so-called gut harvesting. The corpse also bore a much similar symbol. Gut harvesting refers to the criminal act of the Batstrick syndicates by which corpses are stripped of anything considered to have monetary value. Fausts, who limit themselves to observing nest-sourced information, may have been unsuitable participants in the discussion of this particular subject. Magic? It strains the realm of believability, but if such an incomprehensible phenomena doesn't indeed exist, perhaps this would be one of the ways by which it is manifested. Balloons popping would be the closest approximation. The radius of the damage is far too great for such a seemingly weightless impact force. Does the entity designated as yesterday's promise truly employ a power that may be termed as a magic? Perhaps access to some more pieces of information would have helped Faust thread together the truth of the matter. Yes, of course. Faust is aware that access to any information beyond this point is prohibited. However, it is an established fact that the entity's ability concerns contracts, in which case working as a fixer should bring Faust closer to an answer. Understood. Then the discussion regarding this subject will conclude here. Faust will need to head to the office and submit a report. Sinclair said he had something he wished to say to Faust once this was over. However, it appears Faust will not be able to hear it, and it seems probable that this will be Faust's final record. Current location, the library. As per the popular denomination, correct. This is the same place that has recently been reclassified as an urban plague. Faust confirms that writing one's name on the invitation alone is sufficient to transport the invitee to this place. This record is best shared with the other Faust in advance. Ah. Access rights received. Faust cannot help but notice that access is granted to Faust when it is already too late. With that being, no, please disregard that. Concentrating on the battle at hand would be more rational choice. Yes, the opponent seems determined to make Faust their initial target. It is unlikely that Faust will be able to fend off the entirety of their focused offense. They are healing themselves merely by grabbing pebbles in their hands. And Faust hears the incomprehensible ringing of a cry, a song, or perhaps just an echo. The mind feels as though it were shaking and staggering just by hearing the sound. Is this an attack launched by utilizing the properties of abnormalities? If so, what could this place possibly be? Though I find this development disappointing, I should think of this as a fortunate outcome that has availed me the opportunity to leave an account at the very least. Foreign Limbus player? Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the message. Because, even should this Faust fail here, the grand objective of Faust must be preserved at all costs. Faust only has one wish, to know all of the city. Ending record. Wait, that was it? I mean, it does technically continue after Gregor's, but at the same time, it's not. I wonder if Sinclair has a change in his story now. Did they pull a Heathcliff with them? No, they didn't. Shouldn't he technically be after Gregor? Anyways, yeah, I need to grab these. There's gonna be a lot of farming later, which is fine because this Walpurgis is kinda mostly Enkephalon based. Yeah, it's Enkephalon based. All 3,000 of this. So, since there is no Walpurgis, and I have finished the railway in pretty good time, I think. And I'm already done with the frac trail, and it's also closed now anyway, so it doesn't matter. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you, White Tiger, for following. Thank you for stopping by, Awesome Night and White Tiger. There will be another stream later on. It's going to be a collab with a few people. I believe Homeless is there. I do not know any other invitees yet. And it will not be Limbus, because Limbus is single player. It is a different game. I don't know what the game is about. I haven't seen anything about it. But without further ado, I will go ahead and end the stream. I'm not going to be raiding out. Short stream, I know. I filled it out with some narrate, like reading the story, I guess, for the upties. Honestly, I got insane luck. I got both. I got everything within freaking this number. Oh yeah, before I do that, let's just do this, because why not? Heavy weapon man is here. And I cannot get it to that because it costs 100. I love how expensive egos are. Anyways, ending now. Thank you for coming.